Hachayo no hell, hello everyone and welcome back to the Maya Daykeeper. Today we are back for another TRECENA analysis. If you are new to our channel, this is the series where I go through every single day of every single TRECENA of the Maya calendar according as we arrive into them. So we hope to give you guys some insights, maybe some ways for you to ponder the decisions you're making or how you are planning the things along your path. So you don't need to be an expert to take some good insights from this video. But if you're new to the Maya calendar world and would like to understand what TRECENAs are or what NAWALs are, I have a dedicated video talking about that, so you can click here in the card to watch it. And before we start with the analysis, I would like to tell you that in 20 days we're going to be getting to the date Washaki BATZ, 8th monkey. And that date marks the restart of the counting in the Quiche tradition. So I decided to give away 9 free Maya consultations. If you'd like to get one of those, all you gotta do is to be a subscriber and also to join our Discord community. In there you're gonna be seeing a channel called giveaways, and all you gotta do is to react to the message. So if you'd like the chance to get one of these free consultations, the link of the Discord community is gonna be here in the description. So without further ado, let's just hop into our today's analysis. Today we begin the AQABAL, the 13 Clarity TRECENA. This TRECENA is going to be talking about taking things out of the darkness and starting making seeing the light. Talks about gestating our ideas to make them premiere in the world. So it can be a very auspicious TRECENA for us to see clearer the plans we came up to TRECENAs ago. Or just to bring clarity to something that is hidden there in the dark. What could be the cold side of this TRECENA is that AQABAL is a very demanding NAWAL. It demands perfection, demands organization. So it's more like you ended up being hard to yourself. But what you want to do is just to walk this TRECENA in the most impossible healthy way in order to take the best out of it. We begin this TRECENA with Hun, BATZ, 1 monkey or 1 thread. Hun is the NAWAL of the spring, the fresh new waters, the fresh new start. And BATZ, or the thread, is the NAWAL of connecting the dots, the thread of ideas and work. It's about putting things into action. So Hun BATZ is the beginning of the new ideas or the new work to do. It's just like when you take a blank canvas and start just putting our ideas there to see what you can gestate and bring to light by the end of this TRECENA. Of course, many things are going to play out, especially by the way we finished the Oshla-Hutsi, the 13 dog TRECENA, that it spoke about the accumulation of emotions. If you ended up finishing that TRECENA emotionally balanced, you're going to be able to let those ideas flow. But sometimes, just like it happens with everybody of us, we can fall off our path. In that TRECENA that could speak about emotional confusion, leaving us to be burned out by the things we are sacrificing ourselves for, or all that can trigger us and also affects in the way we deal with certain. All this stuff can affect us and can interfere in the way we deal with stuff in life, whether in work or personal relationships and everything. It can lead us to be a little bit frustrated, which is the other side of the NAWAL BATZ. You are imploding because of the accumulation of emotions. But remember, one thing that the calendar can teach us is that the times is always restarting. It's not because we fell off our path that we are not going to be able to get back on that. It shows us a way for us to get back faster into the track, to see what were our mistakes and how we can do it better. So it's never too late to restart, to start doing something new. If your plan didn't work or if your ideas weren't accepted, you can always bring brand new stuff to the table. You can always restart. You can always find a way to rebuild yourself. And that's what we're going to be talking about in Hun BATZ. If that happened to you, don't let that feeling of frustration pollute this spring of water that we're starting right now. So the sooner we acknowledge, the sooner we are able to get back on the track where we are more healthy and feeling more productive. So Hun BATZ is going to be talking about that, the beginning of the new work to do. And then we move to KAWUQ, to Pathfinder. 2 is the NAWAL of the retraction, just like when the waves are pulling the water before going forward with more strength. And the Pathfinder is the NAWAL of the road, is the NAWAL of finding the meaning of life or giving meaning to something, advancing in the path. So KAWUQ, we're gonna be talking about the retraction to calculate the path. So first you have new ideas in BATZ. So now we can use E to give a meaning to them, to see where we wanna get with these ideas. It's a good day for you to question, am I walking the right path? Is that something that I really mean or intend to do? Is that really the path that I wanna walk? So you can do these calculations to see what you need to do to get there. It can also be a great day to take a step back to see what went wrong in the past TRECENA and how we can build it better for this one. What you want to avoid in now KAWUQ is to be retracted in the melancholies of some frustration, something that can make us feel stuck in the path. So we want to avoid that. And then we move to AQAB'AL, which is the tree transformation. Now tree is the now of the water opening the path, breaking the obstacles, just like the delta in the river. And now we talk about the transformation, but we're not talking about what is already transformed. We're talking about what it needs to be transformed. It's incomplete. So first we had the ideas on BATZ, and then we're gonna find a meaning for these ideas or find a path to make these ideas work in our E. Now it's time to move forward to make the necessary changes to make they transform in what you want them to be. AQAB'AL leads with those processes that make people give up of following their dreams or following their ideas. Sometimes when you need to think a lot how you're gonna do that and have to lead with those feelings of anxiety or not knowing how to proceed, so many people give up. So it's a day to open a path to deal with these feelings. Everybody needs to go through that. It's just like a portal that we need to walk to make things happen, to get some results out of it. It's the day for bringing these changes to get these ideas out of the incompleteness. Finding the stuff that you need that can help you transform these ideas into what you want to bring into the light. And then we move to AQAB'AL, which is the 4 female Jaguar. Now, before we talk about the containment of the water, just like the dam where the water is stuck, and AQAB'AL is the now of the female Jaguar. It's the now that talks about the planet Earth, talk about the fertility of the lands and how everything is going to be developed over there, the material world. Also, you can associate AQAB'AL with the economics, how we make our savings. So AQAB'AL is going to be talking about the pause to develop stuff. The pause to make sure the land that we are planting your ideas is fertile so they can come into fruition. And you see that in the Maya calendar is not just starting and just rushing everything to the finish line. Time goes back and forth. So we begin with the ideas, we go back to retract to see where we are going, then we open the path to transform, and now we stop a little bit to develop what we have. And then we move to TZ'IKIN. Hob is the now of the water without containment. Just like when the dam breaks, you have all the water that is impossible to control. And also the point of the TRECENA that we need to pay attention because the things could go sideways. In TZ'IKIN, we talk about the male ego, the straightforward actions, focus, engendering. Talking about economics, we talk about how we're gonna spend the money, how we're going to invest. Then TZ'IKIN is gonna be the overflow of straightforward actions. It can be a very auspicious day to make these straightforward actions that are gonna add to your ideas, to make them come to life. Maybe for you to start thinking about the economics that you may need to make them work. So it's a day for you to start applying this stuff. But it's a day where you need to be very careful because TZ'IKIN tend to get disturbed very easily. So if you lose focus, you can end up lose money or you can end up not doing like the right actions that you need to do. So the best way to use TZ'IKIN is just to be completely focused on the stuff that you gotta do and try to don't let small stuff get out in your way. Think about what's the main focus that you got and just go straight to it. And then we move to AJMAQ, which is 6 complementarity. Now 6 is the now of the heart of the TRECENA. It's referred to the caves as a way, the place that we go to ponder stuff, put the heart on the scale. In AJMAQ, we're gonna be talking about the one that joins the complementary opposites. If we open the path for the transformation, we don't need the feminine aspects and the masculine aspects, the female Jaguar and the masculine ego, the development of the Jaguar and the straightforward actions of the ego to combine them to get something out of it. So AJMAQ we can be talking about as the result of combining these complementary opposites. If you are talking about business, we can talk about having the idea and having the money, and then you invest and you got a product. So 6 AJMAQ is going to be talking about putting these complementary actions on the scale to make sure these two aspects are in balance. Because sometimes we just dream too much about the ideas, we keep fantasizing then too much and don't do the actions to make them work. But sometimes, you know, we don't get so many ideas and you just try to work to whatever comes up in your head. It's never gonna be having the same results. So if you wanna bring things into the light, we need to find this right balance between these complementary actions. And then we move to Wukub Naor, which is the 7 thoughts or 7 knowledge. Now 7 we talk about the climax of the TRECENA, the hottest part. We refer to the lava or to the hot geyser. And now Naor we talk about the thoughts, analysis, synthesis, processes. Is the now of the organization, is the now of the plan. So Wukub Naor is going to be talking about this bright plan. So it maybe could be the time where you can see like the plan clearer. What do you want to achieve with those ideas? You can see already where you're going. So we can see that from the top of the mountain, for example. But also can be the now that can indicate if things are going to the polluted way when you start getting obsessed about the plan we created, or you are overthinking too much and you cannot work with that. We do not know how to proceed. So it's a day to acknowledge that. To reset our mind, we need to make sure we have space to see the light. Of course, we all gonna be overthinking because we need to make those ideas work, but there is always a healthy way to carry that. So it's a good day for us to make sure we are walking this path in a healthy way. And then we move to Washakib Tihash, which is the 8th cutting. Now 8 we talk about the return of the TRECENA, is the second part, is the restart of the TRECENA. So you can take this to evaluate the ideas you had at the beginning of the TRECENA in BATZ. You can filter that. Everything that didn't work or didn't fit in the plan is a day to chop that off. And also if it's a day if you realize that you are overthinking too much, like you're becoming too stressed or feeling that obsession arriving, can be the day for you to get back to the self-healing, for you to cut what is being negative to you. Tihash is the now of the healing. Cutting this emotional stress or this mental stress we are creating, working to this. So by this time, to make sure like we are completely healed for maybe a frustration that began with the TRECENA. And then we move to Belaer KAWUQ 9 Lightning. Now 9 is the 9 of the cold waters, of the underground rivers. We talk about the things that are hidden from sight. And now KAWUQ is the shit lightning, is the now of the inner vision that makes us access the light. But we are only able to see this light if we have peace of mind. If our heads are overloaded, we are obsessed about stuff, just filled with thoughts of trying to force things work, we're never gonna give space to see this light of the intuition, this light that can accumulate in clarity by the end of this TRECENA. And then we move to JUNAJPU, which is the 10 Conqueror Sun. Now 10 we talk about the convergence of the water, just like the lakes where all the rivers meet in one single place. And now JUNAJPU is the now of the Conqueror Sun, the sun that is rising from the darkness. It's not the one that is already shining over there. It's the one that is facing the darkness and fighting to rise up. We can also talk about the metaphor of the seed that goes to the darkness of the underground to rise up as a flower to show its beauty to the world. JUNAJPU can talk about the battle to overcome the darkness and make things shine. So 10 JUNAJPU we can talk about as the convergence of the glow. If you are gestating this idea that you want to see the light of day, Now 10 are great days for us to share with other people, to see their opinion. It's a great day to present your ideas, your creation, to see how is it looking from other people's eyes. The downside that sometimes can be, the critics, because JUNAJPU needs to fight insecurities. And then we move to HULAUG IMOX, 11 water. 11 is the now of the scattered water, the water that spills, that doesn't have a single direction, not even a lot of strength. In our IMOX, we talk about the injection of force, is the now of the flow. But we talk about lots of strength, but little precision. That's the tricky thing about IMOX. You have the power of the water to inject force into the ideas, but if you don't manage to be precise in how much water you inject into that, you can lead that into the madness. So 11 IMOX is the day to distribute the force, to make sure everything is worked evenly. What you need to be careful with IMOX, that can be the now of the confusion, when you start misunderstanding stuff. So you can be just scared away by all those ideas. That's what we want to avoid on IMOX. And then we move to KAWUQ 12 wind. Now 12 is the now of the additional, is the now of the unexpected. Just like we spoke when they're done breaking, can cause devastation. But later, the outcome can be the now 12, this repercussion, the forest growing back. So it's the later repercussion that you don't expect. And now Yek, we're going to be talking about the insufflation of life, the air of courage, of enthusiasm to make things go forward. So 12 Yek can talk about this extra push, this extra enthusiasm to push things towards to the light. But also a day that you need to be careful not arguing with other people, because now Yek is very, very explosive. Especially when you try to take away the enthusiasm, you can be facing an extra angriness. And also especially with ourselves, it's a good day to make sure we don't explode with things that we are not managed to do. Sometimes it can happen. It's a good day to bear that in mind. And then we move to the final day of the TRECENA, the ruler AQABAL 13 clarity. Now 13 represents the ocean, the biggest, the oldest. And AQABAL represents the first sun rays that starts illuminating what's in the dark. So we're going to be talking about bringing things into the light. In the beginning of this TRECENA, we spoke about the new ideas in BATZ, the new work to do. But we don't have a clue if those ideas are going to work or not. Those are just ideas in the canvas. We don't know what we can get with that yet. So we need to take that to a deeper level. That's when we talk about the AQABAL realm. Clarify what's in the dark, how things are gonna properly work. AQABAL is also the ruler of the dreams. The ruler that's gonna reveal what is deep inside of us that sometimes we are ignoring. So Oshlahu AQABAL is the day of the big clarity. It's gonna be able for you to see what is ready to see the light of day. Sometimes it doesn't need to be completely ready. Sometimes you can develop stuff on the go, but can also acknowledge what is not ready, what it needs to be gestating a little bit more in the darkness before premiering into the world. But also AQABAL, as I said, is very demanding. So it's a day for you to try to not get too much perfectionist about that. Try to find the right balance into stuff, because things can be developed on the way as well. And that was it for this short analysis. Of course, there are so many other stuff that the TRECENA can cover, and so many stuff our personal NAWALs can affect on how we're gonna deal with stuff in the TRECENA. If you're looking for more personalized advices with the Maya calendar, you can reach us whether on Instagram or in our Discord community. And also just remembering that in 20 days I'm gonna be giving away 9 free Maya consultations. So if you like the chance to get one of these, just make sure you are a subscriber here in the channel and to join our Discord community. So I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I see you in our next one.